Somewhere at your job, there may be free money sitting on a table with your name on it, and there's a real chance you're not taking all of it. It's called the employer 401k match, and roughly 1 in 4 workers who could grab it don't take the full amount. The 401k is quietly the best deal in personal finance, an instant return, a tax break, and decades of compounding, all in one account. And yet, it's wrapped in confusing words: vesting, expense ratios, traditional versus Roth, that make people freeze. Today we unwrap all of it in plain English so you know exactly how your 401k works and how to stop leaving money behind. Let's get into it. I'm Don Blake, and this is USAFinance, where we hand you everything you need to get, keep, and grow your money with nothing but sourced facts and plain English. This is education, not advice. We're not telling you how much to invest or which fund to pick. We're going to explain how a 401k actually works, the match, the tax break, the fees, and the rules, so you can make your own call with confidence. And this one matters enormously. For most Americans without a pension, the 401k is the main engine of retirement. Small moves here, made early, can mean hundreds of thousands of dollars later. Every number comes from the IRS, the Department of Labor, and major plan data. Let's begin. So what is a 401k really? Strip away the jargon and it's simple. A retirement savings account you get through your job. Here's how it flows. You choose a percentage of your paycheck to set aside. Your employer automatically pulls that money out before you ever see it and puts it into your 401k. Inside the account, that money gets invested, usually in funds that hold stocks and bonds, and it grows over the years. The magic is that it's automatic and it's yours. You don't have to remember to save. It happens every payday, and when you change jobs, the money you put in goes with you. That's the foundation. Now here's what makes it powerful. A 401k has 3 superpowers, and understanding them is the whole game. Miss them, and it's just a savings account. Use them, and it's a wealth machine. Superpower 1, the employer match. Free money your company adds on top of what you save. Superpower 2, the tax break. The government lets your money grow without taking its cut every year. And Superpower 3, compounding. Decades of growth stacking on top of growth. Stack all 3 together and you get something no ordinary savings account can touch. Most people only half use them or don't use them at all. Let's take each one in turn, starting with the one that's literally free money. Superpower 1, the employer match. This is the closest thing to free money you will ever be handed, so pay attention. A match means your employer puts money into your 401k based on what you put in. The most common formulas look like this. Some companies match 50 cents for every dollar you contribute, up to 6% of your salary. Others match dollar for dollar on the first 3%, then 50 cents on the next 2. The details vary, but the idea is the same. Contribute enough and your employer hands you extra money on top of your paycheck, just for saving for your own future. There is no catch. It's part of your compensation. Let's put real numbers on it. Say you earn $100,000 and your employer matches 50% of what you put in, up to 6% of your salary. If you contribute 6%, $6,000 a year, your employer adds $3,000 on top. That's $3,000 every year that you did not have to earn. It's a 50% instant return on your money before the investments grow a single dollar. Now flip it. If you only contribute 3%, you get half the match, and you just walked away from $1,500 a year in free money. The rule almost every expert agrees on: contribute at least enough to get the full match. Always. Let's sit on that instant return idea because it's the part people underrate. When your employer matches 50 cents on the dollar, that's an immediate 50% return on the money you contributed. Dollar for dollar matching is an instant 100% return. You doubled your money the moment it landed. Nothing else in finance reliably does that. The stock market has historically returned around 10% a year before inflation. Good, but it takes a full year. The match gives you 50 to 100% instantly, guaranteed the day you contribute. That's why skipping the match is one of the most expensive mistakes a worker can make. You're turning down a raise you already earned, and yet a lot of people do turn it down, usually without realizing it. Studies of retirement plans have found that roughly 1 in 4 workers don't contribute enough to capture their full employer match. Think about what that costs. On a $50,000 salary, missing even a 2% match is $1,000 a year walked away from And that's before you count the decades of growth that $1,000 could have earned. The fix is not complicated. Find out your company's match formula. It's in your plan documents or one call to HR. Then set your contribution to at least hit it. It might be the highest return financial move you ever make. Let's move to Superpower 2. Superpower 2, the tax break. And there are actually two flavors, so let's be clear. The classic version is the traditional 401k. The money you contribute comes out of your paycheck before taxes. That means it lowers your taxable income today. You pay less to the IRS this year. Your money then grows for decades without being taxed along the way. You only pay income tax when you take it out in retirement. The bet is simple. You get the tax break now while you're working and pay taxes later, often when your income and your tax rate may be lower. For a lot of working people in their peak earning years, that upfront break is genuinely valuable. Here's what it looks like. Say you're in the 22% federal tax bracket and you contribute $10,000 to a traditional 401k this year. Because that $10,000 comes out before taxes, your taxable income drops by $10,000. At a 22% rate, that saves you about $2,200 on this year's tax bill. So you move $10,000 into your own retirement account, and the government effectively knocked $2,200 off your taxes for doing it. Your money went to work for you instead of going out the door in April. That's the traditional tax break. Pay less now, let it grow untaxed, settle up in retirement. But sometimes the opposite move is smarter, and that's the Roth. Meet the other flavor, the Roth 401k. Many employers now offer it right alongside the traditional. With a Roth, you flip the timing. You contribute money after taxes, so there's no break today. But in exchange, your money grows completely tax-free, and when you withdraw it in retirement, you pay zero tax on any of it. Not the contributions, not the decades of growth. When does that win? Usually when you expect to be in a higher tax bracket later than you are now. That often describes younger workers and anyone early in their career whose income and tax rate is likely to climb. So the choice comes down to one honest question about your future. Traditional versus Roth really boils down to this. Do you think your tax rate will be higher now or higher in retirement? If your rate is higher now, say you're a high earner in your peak years, the traditional break is worth more today. If your rate is likely higher later, common when you're young and just starting out, the Roth's tax-free withdrawals win. Nobody has a crystal ball, which is exactly why many people hedge and split their contributions between both. You genuinely can't make a terrible choice here. Both are powerful. One heads up for 2026. If you're 50 or older and a high earner, new rules require your catch-up contributions to go into the Roth side. Superpower 3 and the quiet giant, compounding. This is why starting early beats everything. Compounding means your growth earns its own growth. Your money makes money, then that money makes money. And inside a 401k, it all happens without taxes nibbling at it each year. Here's the power of time. Someone who invests a few $1,000s a year starting at 25 can easily end up with far more than someone who starts the exact same amount at 40, often hundreds of thousands more, simply because their money had more decades to compound. The lesson isn't get rich quick, it's the opposite. Start now, even small, and let boring, patient time do the heavy lifting. Now the villain of the story, the one almost nobody watches, fees. A 401k is powerful, but fees quietly skim off the top for decades. The main one is the expense ratio, the yearly percentage a fund charges to manage your money. It sounds tiny. A low-cost index fund might charge around 0.05 to 0.15%. An expensive, actively managed fund might charge 1% or even more. The difference looks trivial on paper, less than 1%, but applied to your entire balance every single year for 30 or 40 years, that gap does staggering damage through the very same compounding that's supposed to be helping you. Let me show you how big. Here's the number that should make you check your account today. Over a 30-year career, the difference between a fund charging around 0.03% and one charging 1.5% isn't just that 1.5% gap. Because fees compound too, that difference can quietly eat roughly a quarter of your entire retirement balance. Not a quarter of 1 year's gains, a quarter of the whole thing, gone to fees over a lifetime. Same contributions, same market. One choice, high-fee funds versus low-fee funds, and one investor retires with dramatically less for no extra benefit. Fees are the silent tax on your future. The good news, unlike the market, this is something you can actually control. So how do you control it? You check and you choose low. Your plan is legally required to disclose its fees. Look at your fund options and find the expense ratio next to each one. It's a small percentage. As a rule of thumb, broad index funds are usually your cheapest, simplest option, often well under 0.2%. Many plans also offer a target date fund, A one decision, all-in-one fund tied to roughly the year you'll retire. It automatically diversifies and adjusts over time. Just check that its expense ratio is reasonable, because some are pricier than others. You don't need to be a stock picker. You need to avoid overpaying. Low cost and diversified wins over a lifetime. Now, a word that trips people up, vesting. It only applies to your employer's match, and it's worth understanding before you switch jobs. Vesting is how much of the matched money you actually get to keep if you leave. Your own contributions are always 100% yours immediately, but the match can come with a schedule. Two common ones: a cliff schedule. You're 0% vested until, say, 3 years in, then suddenly 100%. Or a graded schedule. You vest gradually, often 20% a year, fully yours after about 6 years. So before you quit a job, it can pay to know your vesting date. Leaving a few weeks early could forfeit thousands in match you've already earned. Let's talk limits. How much you're allowed to put in, straight from the IRS for 2026. The basic employee limit is $24,500 a year from your paycheck. If you're 50 or older, you can add a catch-up contribution of $8,000. And thanks to a newer rule, workers aged 60 to 63 get an even bigger catch-up, $11,250. There's also a total cap counting everything you and your employer put in together, $72,000 for 2026, higher with catch-ups. Most people won't hit these ceilings, and that's fine. The limits just tell you how much room you have to work with. Before the do's and don'ts, one mistake that quietly wrecks retirements: cashing out when you change jobs. When you leave an employer, that 401k balance can feel like a tempting little windfall. But if you cash it out before retirement age, you generally get hit twice. Regular income tax on the whole amount, plus a 10% early withdrawal penalty. You can lose a third or more of it instantly, and you erase decades of future growth. The better move is almost always to roll it over into your new employer's plan or into an individual retirement account, where it keeps growing, untouched, and tax advantaged. Your retirement money should follow you from job to job, not get spent along the way. So let's turn all of this into a plan. First, the do's, general principles, not personalized advice. Do contribute at least enough to capture your entire employer match. It's the highest guaranteed return you'll find. Do start as early as you can, even with a small percentage, and let compounding work. Do check the expense ratios on your funds and lean toward low-cost, diversified options. And when you change jobs, do roll your old 401k over instead of cashing it out. Do those 4 things: grab the match, start early, keep fees low, never cash out, and you've done more than most people ever will. The 401k rewards the boring and the consistent. Now the don'ts, the moves that quietly cost people a comfortable retirement. Don't leave the match on the table. Turning down free money is the single most expensive 401k mistake there is. Don't ignore your fees. A fund that's 1% pricier can cost you a quarter of your balance over a career. Don't cash out an old 401k when you switch jobs. The taxes and penalty can gut it. And don't wait for the perfect time to start. Time in the market, not timing the market, is what builds the balance. Finally, don't assume it's too complicated to bother with. The core moves are simple, and the payoff is your future. Let's recap by the numbers. A 401k has 3 superpowers: the match, the tax break, and compounding. The match is free money, often 50% to 100% instant return, yet about 1 in 4 workers miss part of it. The tax break comes 2 ways: traditional, which cuts your taxes now, and Roth, which makes retirement withdrawals tax-free. Fees are the silent killer. A 1.5% fund can erase roughly a quarter of your balance over 30 years, so favor low-cost index funds. For 2026, you can contribute $24,500 plus catch-ups if you're 50 or older. And when you leave a job, roll it over. Never cash it out. Here's the real takeaway. The 401k isn't complicated once you see it clearly. Grab the free match, pick the tax treatment that fits your life, keep your fees low, start early, and never cash it out. Do that, and this one account can quietly carry you to a retirement most people only hope for. At USAFinance, that's the whole mission. Hand you what you need to get, keep, and grow your money. Sourced in plain English, never advice. If this made your 401k finally make sense, subscribe. It's free, and it's how we keep going. And next time, we break down the other retirement account you should know: the IRA, Roth versus traditional, and which one wins. I'm Don Blake. Make your money work. We'll see you next time.